Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to the Adventures Travel Club television show. We find ourselves heading toward the Panama Canal, but we're not there just yet. We're in Cartagena, Colombia. And you know, Betty, this is one of the wonderful things I like about Holland America. They're always keeping everything so clean and neat and always painting. Of course, you have to do that if you have a ship or a boat, right?
Sure. Well, it puts me to shame. Oh, my gosh. They got those vacuums out. They've got the dust claws, and I think, oh, I wish a little of that would rub off on me. But I just enjoy watching them, so it's okay.
Yeah, you can just relax and just watch everybody else work, right?
Yep.
Anyway, well, these guys are certainly doing a nice job, and they're keeping everything freshly painted and everything very nice and clean on the ship here, and the little tenders that you see out here. The tender, of course, is the smaller of the boats that we see, and those are the ones that when we have to be out and can't come up to the dock like we are right here, then you have to use the tender to get in and out of the port.
Wonder where that name came from. You know, you think of tender, you think, oh, don't touch me. It's a tender spot on my, you know. What do you think? Where do you think tender?
It tenders you back and forth.
Tender?
Would that be?
I don't know. I intend to look it up, though, before the day is over.
That's a good
I really don't know, but anyway, it's not.
Well, you know, the English language is a little strange, and we have a lot of friends that say your language is not the easiest to learn, but
here we
fortunately we already know it. So
disembarking.
Yes, and here
Alma
are a lot of the people that traveled with us.
Yeah.
So we had a great group of travelers with us on this adventure to the Panama Canal, and so it's not too terribly warm just yet as we're getting off the ship, and we're going to visit the port here of Cartagena. And I had never been here before, but you have been, right, Betty?
Yeah, a couple of times. Oh, look isn't that something? Isn't that picturesque?
Yes, and I was sneaking this picture because that lady was going to charge anybody that took her picture, and so I did a little bit of that on this.
You know, they do that when you go places when they're all dressed up, and you'd be surprised how much money they make doing that. If you get off each ship, you know, that comes in, and there's many ships that come into port. Sometimes there's as many as 5.
Well, it's
in
nice
there.
because what they're there for mainly is you know, they'll pose with you to take a photograph.
Hey, what does this remind you of? Does it make you think a little bit of Costa Rica when we were climbing trees and going from swinging from tree to tree? It does me anyway. Brings back memories.
Would you like to go back and do that again?
Yep, I would. But isn't that beautiful? No river rafting, but
no river rafting, but you're good. Okay.
Isn't that a beautiful tree?
It is. Those trees are absolutely beautiful. And we are going to now take a little tour of Cartagena. Cartagena was a lot bigger than I had imagined.
What did you think about when you knew you were going to Colombia, Cartagena, Colombia? Were you thinking of drug smugglers and all the drugs?
Well, actually, he talks about that a little bit. You know, he said there are some areas that you probably couldn't go into.
Right.
Yeah, that they're going to keep a lot of people out of in Colombia. So I was just happy that we were right there
where we were.
The coast, yeah.
Yes.
So let's listen to our guide a little bit, shall we?
We stop by the dungeons, and from the dungeons we're going inside the middle of the old city to see the cathedral, the old church, San Pedro Clavo Church, and the Inquisition Palace, Simon Bolivar Square, because those places are, you know, closely, you know, not far away, you know, not far away, in the same area, okay? And from there, at the end, we're going to see the peninsula, the new city, where the shopping mall are, okay? The big shopping mall. That's my son. He's going to take care of you too. You know, he may be my company because he wants to learn, you know, he wants to listen when I talk. And the driver is Alvaro. Good morning. Alvaro, yeah.
Well, just driving around here, it was interesting, and then getting into the town market, because you have to remember where the ship's dock is not always right at the center of town, but can be a little ways. So sometimes you have to drive through some of the residential neighborhoods before you get to like the old city, which we're going to go to, and we're going to go take a look at the fort.
The name of the city is Cartagena. The name of the whole country is Colombia. We are South America. Okay. Colombia may border with so many countries in South America. Central. One of the countries may border Colombia is Ecuador. That's why climate is hot. All year round in Cartagena, hot. The capital of the country is Bogota. Very higher, you know, about 2,500 feet above sea level. Okay? The country has 35 million population. Only in Cartagena, 1 million. Colombia is divided in 28 departments, but each of those departments have their own capital. Central, Cartagena is the capital of Bolivar department. We have, our department have this name because in memory of one big hero, Simon Bolivar from Venezuela, born in Venezuela, but come to Colombia for defend the city by the pirates attack. Cartagena was founded in year 1533 by one conquistador Spanish named is Pedro de Heredia. Now you can see in front to us the old fort. It's right over there. The old fort, the San Felipe Fort. Designated by Anthony Arevalo. He was the last engineer from Italia, used to be working the last part of the old fort. Antonio de Arevalo. That was in the year 1657. 1657. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to walk up there to the old fort to see a beautiful sight, a beautiful view, you must pay $5 per person. But if you will decide to stay down to take a few pictures and see very well, you cannot see the beautiful panorama because we have to go up to the higher point. But I think it's, you know, to walk up there is for young people, you know. So better we stay down, okay?
Betty, now in the past you've climbed up to the top of the fort, right?
Not quite to the top, but pretty near, yeah. Wonderful view, but I don't recommend it to. I mean,
a little warm,
a little puffy when you get through. But look at those colorful buses.
Aren't those beautiful?
These are the city buses. It's not like a tour bus or something.
No, those are
And
those are
I
nice.
think they're so attractive.
They are. Those are something.
This fort is. I wish I knew just a little bit more about it. But you know, we see so many forts. They had to have them. They were a necessity.
Well, that's true. During all around the Caribbean and also on the Atlantic and even on the Pacific side, I guess, there were a lot of pirates that frequented these areas during those early days. I mean, you had Blackbeard, and you had who was it, Henry Morgan, and some of these others that, and probably a lot that
we never heard about.
That we never heard about, right? Whose names we never heard of, and also invading from some of the other countries there too. But
this was monumental. I mean, it was
tremendously large.
Yes.
And then the area that we're going to go to a little bit later on also was fortified as well. So they had quite a bit of fortification around there too.
April 1747.
I think I read
that.
Huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they built it to last, didn't they?
I was going to say it's in a very good state of preservation. When we got out of the bus, I remembered from before, the peddlers are there en masse. Do we have them coming up? Don't we? Right. Yes.
But you know what? The area that we are going to go to, what they call the dungeons, a little bit later on, they had a line there, and they could not cross that line. The peddlers had to stay on the other side. So you were fair game if you crossed the line and went over on the other side, but you could get in the free zone. And then the shopkeepers would no, the shopkeepers they were very nice.
It was very nice.
No, it was.
But see, these are the things that I like. I like to go where all these ancient things and the history behind it, and instead of going to look at modern hotels and stuff, I really prefer this, and so that's why cruising is okay with me, because we do get off enough that we can go out to my heart's content and do exploring along with the easy life.
No, and that's what's so nice, because even if you are out there on a warm or hot day, you can always come back to the ship, and it's nice and air conditioning, and have a nice refreshment there. Let's listen to our guide as he talks about how the Spanish brought the slaves to this country.
Used to keep, the slave from Africa that they brought here, because the Spaniards, they go into Africa and bring here the March slave. 300 years ago, they brought here a slave from Africa, super working hard and fortificate the city, right? But now the government rent to the people for commercial, you know, that's like a free market right there where you can get some handicraft souvenir, a postcard, you know, everything handmade over there and lower price. After, you know, a continuation, we're going to see the St. Peter Clavo Church. He was the sleigh of the sleigh. Beautiful. It's a body in the glass after, okay? Up front of us, you know, you're going to see one station. The name is Catarine, Indians. Up to your left, over there, the Indians. She born in Galera Samba, the Bolivar department. She was born in Galera Samba, but she was a prisoner for Alonso de Ojeda, one of conquistador Spanish, catch her like a prisoner and take to Dominican Republic. To Dominican Republic for interpreter. She was very smart Indian lady, you know, she was interpreter, she was a speak Indian dialect, also a Spanish language. That's why she was a prisoner. Now we're inside the walled city. Look at the wall up to your right. The wall was built by Antonelli Bautista, year 1789. Antonelli Bautista was another engineer, military from Italia. Up front to us you can see the all bull fine ring. Yeah, over there, over here, over here. All bull fine ring. We have a season bull fine during December until 2 February. And Colombia will kill the bull, like in Spain, like in Mexico, you know. We kill the bull, you know. We have a brand new ring bull for 25,000 persons. We was invited by the Spanish, that's why our language is Spanish. Our race is mixed, Indian, Spanish, and slave from Africa. Yeah. Yellow movie. Okay, this is the dungeon. The arches, we call the arches too, you know. 23 arches. Now it's a free market, right there, where you can get a postcard souvenir handicraft.
Betty, do you know the history on this? They called it the dungeon. Was this really a dungeon in its day?
It actually was a dungeon, and this is where the prisoners were kept.
Well, you know, they had about 4 or 5 forts. Now we're quite a distance from that great big fort that we saw that was up on that hill. And we drove quite a ways, and we can see now part of this fortification right here. And those little things that you see right there are lights, so that kind of lights up the walls there at night.
Oh, it looks pretty at night.
Yeah.
Sure,
oh, yeah.
Sure.
It must be absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But you can see here the little guardhouses or whatever they were, and we're standing now on top of the dungeon, or where those arches are, and of course that's turned in now to a shopping arcade, I should say.
A Sharpie. That's very good.
Yeah, well, some of those people were pretty sharp.
You have the right word there, Mark.
That's true. And I think all the tour buses do hit that area because it's a place where you can buy a lot of the various handicrafts, and there were really some very nice things there. And this is the top or the roof of the dungeon.
But look at how all those hand-laid bricks that comprise the floor, actually comprises the floor and the ceiling. Huh?
Yeah, and evidently it was built very, very well. Now here is another area in the same locale right here where they were still doing some more excavation, and so I imagine that they'll unearth some more very interesting things there. But look at those beautiful buildings right across the street. Isn't that nice, Betty?
Yeah, that looks awfully modern.
It is very modern.
Yeah. You know, I like that gold. I like that color.
Oh, well, you know, when you say that, now we're going to drive into town in just a little bit, and the buildings were beautiful. Yeah. Oh, the colors they used were magnificent.
Yeah. But see, this color is used a lot in England too. You know, it's the Habsburg color of the palaces. Maybe not quite so yellow.
The Habsburgs
I mean,
England.
I don't mean England.
You want to go down to Austria?
I mean Austria. That's just where I was.
Okay,
I'm sorry, not England. It's Austria, right?
That's okay. That's all right. They got around. But you know, that's the problem when you do this much traveling. Sometimes you just it runs together a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It certainly, obviously, you just heard it does. But anyway, it's a beautiful color.
Yeah, it is a beautiful color.
That's the point I was trying to make.
Okay, that's great. And there's that line that they're not supposed to cross, but looked like they crossed over.
But they were very nice.
Oh, they were very nice.
They truly were nice.
We're going now to the Middle East Center, you know, to see the cathedral and the Simon Bolivar Square. Okay. There you have the opportunity because the factories are over there. Somebody just been asking me for shoes, leather shoes over there that are the factory too. Okay. The places are closing one, the other one, beside the other one. Also, we are inside the wall. You can see this part of the wall up to your right, and you can see why this part of the wall are very lower and the other part of the wall are very top. Because at this side, they need to check outside to the ocean. Colombia and South America is the only country with two oceans, the Pacific and the Atlantic. This is the Atlantic or Caribbean Sea, out to your right, at the other side. That's why they build this part of the wall very lower to check outside when the sailboats come to attack Cartagena. Because Colombia is one of the richest countries, produce many things. Outside the drug, Colombia produce many things. We produce, by metal, we produce many gold, many silver, many iron, many brass, and emerald too, yeah. Emerald, a lot of emerald mines. We have about 22 emerald mines here and about 26 gold mines here in Colombia. This is the main resort, the main entrance, 80% that the emerald running around the world, going from Colombia. We produce also many flowers, okay? Colombia produce many gold, carbon, yeah. Colombia produce many fruit. We export fruit too. We produce many oil too, We have many oils, Our gas is not so cheaper, but we produce oil too. Okay, one thing is Colombia is a safe city, Cartagena is a safe city in Colombia. That's why you have American tourists have a premise to go to the coast, just to the coast in Colombia. Because I think you don't have your permits to go inside of the Ontario, or Medellin or Bogota, Cali, because there is a big problem. Even for us, we just try to get the independence from those people, right? Our city is very clean, Cartagena. Not so big of one, like the Bogota. Bogota is 9 million population. Yeah. Medellin is 7 million and Cali 6 million. Cartagena is more small one, but very, very safe and very clean. We are convenient with United States. The president with United States with Colombia have convenient, and many convenient, Also in the Navy and the Army we have convenient. For things you buy here, anything you buy here, we have convenient. You're asking for certificate and you don't pay tax into the United States, okay? Okay. 465 years is Cartagena. It's the third city older in Colombia. The first one is Bogota, okay? There are the 4 stations like in the United States. 4 stations. They have a spring, dry season, summer, winter, We have only here 2 stations, dry season and a rainy season. We're beginning to rainy season now. We are beginning to rainy season. Rainy season starts in May, June, July, August, September. Yes, right. The dry season starts in November, December, January, February, March. Okay. Now we are going to show you the strips here in the whole city. You can see the strip here, only one way street, very narrow. Why they build the old city with narrow street, very narrow street? Because also 300 years ago, they don't use a car, they don't make cars, just horse and wagon, one-way street, okay? This building that we have here, this building is one hotel, 5-star hotel, inside the whole city. Before this building was a convent, non-convent. After they convert from non-convent to one station police. From one station police, they convert now in 5-star hotel, one 5-star hotel. The name is Santa Teresa Hotel. Santa Teresa Hotel, always with the same name. Other one we have here, always with the same name, 3 places, and always with the same name is Santa Clara Hotel. Before was Nuns Convent, after they convert from Nuns Convent to hospital, Santa Clara Hospital. And from Santa Clara Hospital, they convert and in one 5-star hotel, Santa Clara Hotel. The building out here, after you ride, you know, is San Pedro Clayton Church. San Pedro was the same. We call it sleigh or the sleigh. It's a body in the glass. If you like to go inside to see, you know, the ataúd and the altar and the chapels of this church, very, very nice decoration. Come from 1600, century 17, 1600. San Pedro was the same who born in Verdú, Catalonia, come to Cartagena with one mission. Which one was the mission? The mission was defend the slave, you know, defend the slave, you know, to keep it outside from the Spanish power, because they hit the match the slave that they broken up. And what happened with those slaves? During the trip, the Spaniard on a sailboat from Africa to here, you know, they spent more than 3 months. And what happened? Disappeared the provision. Disappeared the provision. No food, no water, nothing. So they get sick during the trip. When they arrive here, they come very sick. They brought here many malaria, like a yellow fever. So San Pedro was the slave or the slave, helping the slave. He was armed botanic man. This plaza here, we call Plaza de los Coches. Here was a slave vendor over here. And the statue that you see here in marble is Cristobal Colon, the gentleman who discovered America. That's what the legend say, discovered America 1492. And that house with many arches is the city horse, mayor house. Okay, we're going to stop, you know, in front of the Simon Bolivar Square. Okay, from there you can have a picture, you know, to see the cathedral inside, you know.
Well, our guide certainly had a lot of information to impart, and I can see why, because this city had quite a history to it. And Betty, I do have to concur with you. I think these buildings are absolutely beautiful. They are just really something, aren't they?
I was trying to determine this style of architecture because it seems familiar, you know, but do you think that is probably Spanish
colonial and
architecture?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, and it looks some more European in there someplace too. It's beautiful.
It is, isn't it? It is very, very nice. And all those colorful buildings that we passed, it was something. Well, we're going to go to this square now, and we'll see some more statues.
70% of the population here are Catholic. The other 30% is divided in different religions. We have here Mormon, Protestant, you know, Adventist, Jehovah's Witness, you know, different religion. You know, Dre was destroyed, you know, Francis Dre destroyed this church many times because he attacked this city many times. The church was built here 1500, but they spent, you know, 21 years to build up the church because he come to attack different times. This is the Simon Bolivar Square, the one after you ride over here. You see the Simon Bolivar and the horror. See? Simon Bolivar. Remember that Simon Bolivar just gone to Cartagena for defend the city. You know, for defend the city. He was the gentleman of liberation 5 countries in South America. They are Peru, Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, and Colombia. You know, he liberated those countries. Okay. Yeah, but he died here. He was killed by Santander, Francisco de Paula Santander, killed him.
Rafa, mírale el dato policía a ver si nos dejan meter ahí.
Bolivar died here, you know, his bones are in the one church, you know, and the one department beside to Cartagena, the name is Santa Marta. When he was alive, he talked to the population, you know, Venezuela gives to him a lie, but Colombia gives to him glory, okay? He was a big hero here, that's why that's the statue here. If you guys want to have a picture beside to his statue, where you were doing, if you want, 5 minutes, the Inquisition Parables.
Well, I had forgotten that he was the liberator of 5 countries. It's been a while since I studied the history
college,
of Simon
yeah,
Bolivar.
but he's a great hero, of course.
And there he is, sitting on his horse, or at least a statue of him anyway. But yeah, a great hero to the people.
This was a
here in Central
beautiful
America.
little plaza here. That my only objection, and you can't believe that I'd object to this, because you know I like people around, that it was quite crowded. You know,
Well,
but
this
it was
was
living. People lived there and worked there.
This was a
Yeah.
place, and I think we hit this right about noon, if I do remember. But this is a place where a lot of people like to come because it's nice and cool under all of those trees, and it's a meeting place.
Yes.
You know.
Now look at here. See with these balconies on either side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, are you home, Mary? Want to come over and have a cup of tea?
Or a shot of tequila.
Yeah, whatever's your
Whatever turns you on, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wander from the little park there into the cathedral, and this was rather interesting because there was Betty had mentioned to me before that some of the area in the cathedral was very plain, and yet other parts were very formal and very ornate, like we see here with some of the side chapels and some of the side altars that are here. And it's quite nice. But I do like that plainness that of the ceiling and the walls. And of course here at the main altar that we see right here, that is not too terribly ornate like we've seen in some churches, but I think is done in very good taste.
It's a contrast of styles, the simple and the ornate.
And it seems to work together, doesn't it? Here?
Very,
it works
very nice.
nicely.
You feel comfortable in this church.
Right. It's great. Well, anyway, this is just one of the many places, of course, that we see on our cruise to the Panama Canal. And we do want to mention that we will be going to the Panama Canal again in April of 1999, and we're booking cabins for that right now. So if you are interested in that, Betty will be happy to give you her number in just a few moments. But Betty, you've got a lot of people booked on that cruise already, right?
I do. I have a lot of people that have gone with me before, and that's always fun for me when I have returnees, because it's kind of like my cousins and my aunts and my uncles and everybody's going along with me because we know
party,
each
right?
other. Yeah.
No, that makes a big difference too, and it is going to be a lot of fun. So if you are interested in our next cruise to the Panama Canal, it will be in April of 1999, and we are booking cabins on that now. So don't delay. If you really think that you're interested in that, give Betty a call at
488-7443.
And Betty will be happy to send you a brochure on that. Just about time for us to say goodbye, so we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.